Welcome to Wargaming in the Shed, Shed Gaming. This is an introduction to Dead Man's Hand. Only a quick introduction just to explain some things you get. There's the main rules. You get all your playing cards for Dead Man's Hand. The cowboys, they come in box sets. The whole gang's there, which you get the cards for, which have all the special rules on. You can get scenery, Dead Man's Hand stagecoach, wagons from foreground, fencing, and you can get buildings. So now I'm just going to clear all them away. So that's the basic stuff they did. They then brought out the Legends of Dead Man's Hand, which is more designed as a campaign expansion to introduce more gangs and more desperados and everything, and you also get with it a set more cards. They then brought out Dead Man's Hand Down Under. Now this is a little joke between me and my friend Richard, because Richard also sent me that and the gang, which come in a little plastic case. And he lives in Australia, so it's a bit of a joke, I think, on his half, but it's something I'm going to deal with. As you can see, you get a bag of figures, the bases. They're the cards, I think, which came with that, and there's the sort of special card for the gang. We're not going to really review this. What Richard's done to me again, other than sending me loads of buildings for me to build up with, he sent me for my birthday this. The Curse of Dead Man's Hand. It came with the Dead Man's Hand, the Baron gang, which come in a little box, not to the same standard as this box. If you pad it out, you could store your figures in. This is just like a little cardboard box. So the Curse of Dead Man's Hand also came with the relevant cards, so you get an idea of some of the cards there. So I wasn't going to go into the zombie side of Dead Man's Hand, which this is. This is basically a zombie version of Dead Man's Hand. The Curse of Dead Man's Hand is about this guy, the Baron, who thinks the whole world should be controlled by himself and is basically wiping out the whole world, turning them into zombies. If you go to the book, again, as usual, has nice artwork in it, and there's the table of contents if you can read it. So in the book is the story of what's happening, playing a campaign, the Baron with his witch. You've got the Malevolent Seven, the Mountain Men, the Seven, which I assume are the light version of the Malevolent Seven because they're painted the same colours. You also get ungodly creatures. So you've got Cannibal Dwarves, Stormcrow, Haunted Bear, and Dread Wolves. You also get Wendigos, which have a whole page of rules for themselves, and you get Corpse Carrions. Now the forces are good. It's a Buffalo Man, Mountain Lion, and a Indian Warrior. As you can see down there, he's taking on the Pygmies, or the Dwarfs, as whatever they call it. As usual, there's everything in here, which is shows you how things go. And it's some kind of monster. It's basically a campaign game. It tells you how to fight, and there's like how to win against him. It is an interesting book. I wasn't really interested in it till I found out the Derby show, which I normally go to at, funny enough, Derby or outside Derby at Donington Racecourse, moved down to Bruntingthorpe, which is another hour plus, so that's 2.5 hours away. Now I had planned on taking a bit of money with me and buying a load of stuff. I went on the internet this arrived. Yep. I basically went to the Dead Man's Hand, the Curse of Dead Man's Hand page, and started clicking. That's some of the packs I bought. Bit of extra terrain. Because I have the church not built, I've got the graveyards, which all come painted. I like the look of the wagon. It was cheap. Water wagon. Bought that. These are supposed to be painted, pre-painted boxes. As you can see, the side which has been painted is the back side of the box. The front sides have not been painted, so I will have to discuss that, I think, with them at some point. I also got myself a prisoner wagon, because that will come in handy for the Down Under and a few others games where there's scenarios for escaping prisoners and that sort of thing. Really nice. Horses and the crew there and the prisoner, magnets to help build it, and a painted wagon. So that's going to be quite enjoyable to make. Not only that, you may have saw before, I also had the stagecoach. Well, that came in with the horses, passengers, the shotgunman, nice base, all painted and everything. So that is on my list of things to build. One of the things I did spot was the cursed hearse. So, considering I'm playing the Curse of Dead Man's Hand and I'm buying Dead Man's Hand stuff, I bought that. Again, it's a nice pre-painted kit. Probably straightforward. I can see some clear plastic in there for the windows, which you can see, so you've got some plastic to cut out. But that will look nice in the game. I also... Sorry, excuse me. As I said, Richard got me the Baron's Gang, which has all those characters in. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minions. You've got the Juggernaut, which is the protection for the Baron, and you got the Baron, and you got the Witch. And basically, the minions are 1 rep each, so you're going to have lots of them in a big game. The other gangs, I all ended up buying. So, the Malevolent 7, the 7, and the Mountain Men. So there are the 4 main factions for this game. The Mountain Men are there. Malevolent 7 and the 7. Now if you look carefully, they've all been painted the same. So that's the 7 alive, and that's the Malevolent 7 dead. And they are the sworn enemies of the Baron. So that is the 4 main gangs. I also decided to start buying a few blisters. And yes, when I said I started clicking, it's all I started clicking. Looks like it doesn't like the reflection on the plastic, so let's bring this stuff. So basically, that lot are the blisters for Cursed Earth. Not exactly. I bought some cacti. I clicked on the wrong one. I'm not impressed. There's 4 there for £5. Yeah, and I've got a bit of gluing. Not the best buy they've done. There's no bases. And they're like little bits of plastic. So for £5, that was a rip-off, really, in my eyes. It might not be in yours, but in my eyes it is. The only other thing I bought, which was a bit of a sort of, I got it and I thought, well, it's a lot of money for what it is, but snakes. You've got to have snakes. So put those two aside. All these are the blisters for the Curse of Dead Man's Hand. I shall go into detail in these in a minute, and we're going to pause here and we will do a part 2.